Good evening and welcome back to Fallout Shelter. Hi, there's some guys in their jammies at the door. Should we let them in? Okay, good. Hi, there's Keith White and there's Butch and there's Larry Bishop. Come on in, boys. We want to let you in. Do we need anything from you guys? Stop 60 incidents, 22 dwellers, the Wasteland, and Mysterious Stranger. So you guys can come on in. We will get rid of all your junk that we do not need. And, yeah. Alright. So you guys went out and did the thrill of the hunt. And I think we need to set you back up for that. For the next one. Let's see here. Are we done with the thrill of the hunt? Is that it? No. The final hunt. The final hunt. Track down and take out Big Wes. Well, boys, guess what you get to do? But we'll make sure you're wearing the right outfits, though, when you do it. Alright. Yes, Butch. Get you a better outfit than what you had on. Take your jammies off. Put your sweats on. You're going to go work it. Alright. Have fun. See ya. The final hunt. And out of the Rock of Disappearance comes a bunch of Deathclaws to greet us with warm hugs and wet, sloppy kisses. I love the Deathclaw kiss. Oh, well. What else is new? Jason Snow, Adam Peterson, take them out. Oi, we don't have anything better for you. We're gonna get you a. Gonna have to get you a Dragon's Maw. And hopefully there'll be one made here soon. Well, that's fine. Well, that guy's a little lagging behind there. Okay. Yep, and you're done. And you're done. And you're done. And we're done with that. Good job, fellas. Alright. Boy, it's been a couple days. I've been busy putting stuff together and getting it all out there. I've got about 2 weeks worth of videos scheduled and ready to go, which by the time you watch this, that will have already happened. So, yeah. Welcome to 2 weeks later. Alrighty, let's see what else we got going out there. We got a couple guys out. We got a couple groups out there. We're ready to go. I believe a Wasteland Tail and a weekly thing. Let's go check out who's going on here. Boom, 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 boom. You are done. We can take that dog back from you. You've fostered it long enough. It's time for Mr. Douglas Berry to have the dog for a little bit. And 16 hours from now, he will be fully trained. You, my friend, need to go work. Where are you going to work? Where do you want to be? This is the job placement center. We have 5 people in there, and we have 5 people in there. But do we have any suits for you? You might have to be forced to wear. Ah, yes. Ah, yes. Sorry, but it is a custom for the new kid on the block to be forced to wear the elf outfit. Joe Bishop. Joe the elf, what's your favorite color? There you go. Have fun, boys. Yep. Boop. Nope, that's not where I wanted to go. There's where we want to put you. Alright. So as you can see, we've got another dweller trained up all the way, maxed out on all of his stats, and now he's going to work. He will gain about 30 levels from what he is now. He is a level 5. When he gets to be about level 30, we will take him out of there, send him out for the Wasteland to get the last 10 to 20 levels, and then he will be retired. That's how we do that for a while. Alrighty. Let's go check out what's going on in the world today. And we got 2 lunchboxes here. Let's do the 2 lunchboxes now and get them out of the way. Oh, that's right. We couldn't. Well, okay. We're only going to do the 1 lunchbox. I need to wait on the Mr. Handy until enough time has passed to check all the comments. Because, like I said, I got 2 weeks worth of videos to go, and it could be a while. So I'm not going to name him just yet. Ooh, railway rifle. We had a globe. We had some caps. Oh my goodness! I think we got some 6 Nuka-Cola Quantums. Awesome. That's great stuff there. And a rusty Gauss rifle. We're going to sell that probably. You know what? We're going to open up the Mr. Handy because we're going to get him to work. But we're not going to. You have to name him. So you know, when we get those comments checked out and looked over, and we count all the hanging chads, we will have our name for Mr. Handy. But where can we put him? Where can we put Mr. Handy right now? Nope, one per floor. You are not going to find a lot of places to go. Well, boy. We don't have one there. We don't have one there. We don't have one there. We should probably put one right here for now because we don't have anybody there, and if something happens on that floor, we have to go take care of it. So that's where. So Mr. Handy, soon to be named something else. We will put you to work. And now let's go check out the Dew of Destruction, the Glowing Radscorpions. Oh, this could be big. All right, eliminate the second Glowing Radscorpion. The second one. So that means we have to actually hit the first one first, I guess? Well, it looks like we're pretty straightforward here as far as the layout. So I hope you boys are packing. Yep. Because I remember I did one of these things. Thanks goodness you're here. We're no match for those chitness creeps. Nice, very nice use of words there. Take them down. Alrighty, we will. Looks like those losers. Let's show those losers what Vault Teams looks like. Yep. Let's go take them out, boys. Alrighty then. What are we going to find? What are we going to find? Oh, no. It's going to be all Radscorpions all the time. I bet. Oh, my gosh. There's 4 of them. Wow. Okay. But they are taking it rather well. Huh. Okay. Doing good, doing good. Ooh. Come on, man. Ryan Page, not looking too hot there. You always were a weakling. I'm sorry to say that, but you're the only one. You get hurt worse than anybody else. Jeez. Alrighty. I wonder if there's any clowns around here. That'd be kind of funny. Speaking of clowns, there's this new thing. I don't know what's going on. I think it's a joke. I think it's a hoax. I'm not exactly sure. But apparently, and you know, stop me if you've heard this one, people are starting to notice, like, clowns in their neighborhood. Creepy clowns standing along the highway in neighborhoods. Is that a thing where you live? Have you seen that? I mean, I'm you know, near Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, the United States of America. Yeah, we're sorry. Never mind. We'll cut that back out. But we've got lots of these, like, reports of you know, oh boy, of clowns on the sides of the road creeping people out. Now, I have been hearing that these are hoaxes, that these are fake reports, that people have been you know, reporting falsely that they are seeing this happen because they want to just, like, stir some national fervor over this idea that there could be people dressed up as clowns hanging out on the sides of the roads. And also, we are probably a good maybe year away from the release of the remake, I guess we should say adaptation, not remake, of Stephen King's It, the story about the murderous clown Pennywise. I don't say remake, I say adaptation because it's an adaptation of an existing book. The movie that was out in 1990s, early 90s, with the late great John Ritter and Seth Green as a kid, and what's his name? Tim Reed. If you don't, I know you probably won't remember. Oh, here's one of the Glowing Radscorpions. Got to take him out. Tim Reed. If you don't remember, your parents would probably remember a show called WKR in Cincinnati, WKRP in Cincinnati. He played Venus Flytrap. It was like a smooth. Ooh, look at that! I was sitting there talking, and I still managed to get it. He played Venus Flytrap, one of the smooth DJs at WKRP in Cincinnati. It's a very good show. One of those, you know, sitcoms. Back then, Howard Hessman was on it. Gordon Jump, the Maytag Man, was on it. We got one of the Radscorpions. Awesome. So there we go. Oops, I didn't get this stuff. There we go. Get out of the room. But yeah, oh shit, they're both together. Cripes. Well, glad I healed up my guys. But he was in it. Harry Anderson. You don't know who Harry Anderson is probably because you're too young to remember Night Court from the 80s. but he was in it as well. He played the grown-up version of Seth Green. But I don't call it a remake. I call it an adaptation because even though that movie came out in 1990 and this is sort of like another version of it, it's still an adaptation of an original source material. If they were actually doing the exact same storyline and shot for shot or the same script as the 1990s version, yes, Giddy Up Buttercup, we like those, then I would say it would be a remake of the 1990 adaptation. But this is going to be a straight-up adaptation of the book itself. It's a very good book, and it's very scary for for those who have a phobia of clowns. I do not have a phobia of clowns. I am pretty much a clown, as it is. So I do have friends who are deathly afraid of clowns. We make fun, but it is a serious phobia, and people do have the right to have those phobias. I mean, it's not funny to them, But the story itself is, to give you in a nutshell, the little town of Derry, Maine, had murders usually of children every so many years. Like there would be, like 100 years or something like that. There'd be kids would be killed, and then it would go unexplained, and then there would be nothing, and then it would happen again, and everybody would sort of just kind of brush it under the rug. They wouldn't accept that there's something happening. It's like there's some kind of a sickness over the town of Derry where they don't, they refuse to see what's going on in front of them, and it's traced back to this murderous being named Pennywise, who actually isn't of this planet or dimension, but he takes on the form of a clown because clowns, can be... What the hell? There we go. Clowns can be scary. And these kids all witness this happening at one of the times of its feeding. And, they are a bunch of kids who are not socially, popular. They're the awkwards, the losers club they call themselves, and each one of them have their own issues with one's, we're talking about the 60s, so one's black in a newly integrated society. One is the daughter of abusive father who's the custodian. One's Jewish. There's all these different type. One's the son of a dead Vietnam vet who is fat, and he's like, he gets bullied. So there's each one of them has and then one has a stutter, and his what kicks off the story is, and I don't want to spoil it, but that kicks off the story is his brother is killed by a clown, Georgie, and he blames himself because he wasn't there for his brother, and that sort of becomes a running thing, and it carries on with them confronting the clown as children. And then there's I guess it isn't 100 years. It's like maybe every 20 years. And then it comes back when they're adults, and they have to come back to Derry to. It's happening again. Kids are dying, and they're all called back by their one friend to face down this clown again. This evil thing. That's the story in a nutshell, but rather large, giant nutshell. However, what my point is that it's a really, 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 really good book. I suggest reading the book if you are. I would check. It's not exactly for kids, I would say. I read it as a kid, but then again, I had a little bit of a different upbringing than people these days. I mean, Bailey is. I am proof, and Bailey is proof that we are not exactly living in the times of kids shouldn't know. I have chosen to let Bailey be exposed to certain things that I'm confident that she's aware of, and she can be, somewhat adult about. I'm not saying a lot of things, but she's okay with like the zombie genre of things. She's watched me play Dead Island, and yes, there was some swearing in there, but she's like, hey, like all right. She's, she played Fallout 3. There was some swearing in that. She's quite really aware. She's quite astute. She's a little precocious, so she doesn't exactly have the mentality of a typical 9-year-old, and she is probably well adjusted considering. So, all right, that's the end of that quest. We've eliminated both glowing Radscorpions, and we are going to return to the vault. All right, kick ass. We got a farmer's daughter, but a giddy up buttercup and a chemistry flask. All right, and then we'll take on the second quest, which I think is the Wasteland Tail. Okay, come on back, boys, and we'll send you back out again. Let's go take on the next exciting chapter of a Wasteland Tail. Alrighty. Canine Recovery. We gotta go find Bigsby, that's right. We gotta find Bigsby. The dog that was dog-napped from the vault we went out and found the SOS from. Alright, let's go check it out. Uh-oh. Raiders already? So yeah, so Bailey, I probably wouldn't let Bailey read the book. There's a lot of language and adult themes in the book. I'd let her probably watch the 90s TV show. It was on TV, you know. I watched it as a kid. Of course, I was 15 when I saw it, but I read the book when I was younger than 15. But, so yeah. And now this, but you know, the thing about the movie is it was one of the first, there was this big, let me back this up. There was this big thing in the early to mid 90s where Stephen King books were being adapted into television miniseries, like a 3 or 4 night event movie. So like, you know, 2 to 6 hours. And they were really, some of them were good and some of them weren't so good. The first one was It, and it was pretty good, except for the fact that in 1990 you really didn't have the way to really display the creature, and it looked like a big stupid spider crab thing at the end, and it was kind of dumb. But other than that, it was a really spot on, a really, really great miniseries that spanned about 2 nights. It really scared the bejesus out of people, only because Tim Curry, if you don't know who Tim Curry is, he's in his 70s, I believe. He had a stroke recently, so he's not doing much anymore. He's confined to a wheelchair. But he is just a freaking genius, and you know, Frankenfurter from the Rocky Horror Picture Show, which is something you're probably not allowed to watch just yet. Probably shouldn't watch just yet. You know, it's a rock opera kind of thing, cult phenomenon thing from the 70s. But he was this, this Dr. Frankenfurter who had created like a Frankenstein kind of monster, you know, in this house up on the hill. And, you know, it's like a Halloween type of thing. Really, really fun. Really, you know, fun classic musical. The voice talents of David Bowie, Susan Sarandon's in it, Barry Bostwick, and I said Tim Curry. Meatloaf was in it. You know, it's one of those things. So that was one of his characters. Pretty much everybody knows him as Captain Hook, or was it or Blackbeard from Long John Silver's. Which one is it? I think it's Long John Silver's. Holy crap! How could I not know this? I played the character myself. Muppets Treasure Island. He was the bad guy. You know, perfect for that. Clue is probably his most well-known, next to Frankenfurter, character. You know, the '80s adaptation of the Parker Brothers board game. Clue. I just watched that movie a couple weeks ago, and it doesn't really hold up as well as you think it would, you know, for being a 1985 movie, but it's still a classic. It still has a lot of great parts to it, and Tim Curry is awesome in it. Tim Curry he's been in Legend. He played like a devil character in Legend. He was in he played a hotel, I think, person. Maybe was it Home Alone 2? I don't know. He's just been in a lot of things. He's well known, very well known, very well respected, singer and British actor, and I wish him all the best, in his recovery from having that stroke a few years ago. But yeah, the movie made him like the scariest clown ever, and it was just so awesome. It was really, 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 really good. Hunt for Red October. He was in Hunt for Red October too. But yeah. So if you know who Tim Curry is? What's your favorite Tim Curry, character or movie? Mine, of course, is Pennywise, because I thought he did a really great job on it. But you can tell me yours in the comments. So, ready? Ready. Okay, so yeah, so they're remaking this movie with a bunch of people that I've never heard of, and it's actually going to be probably a lot darker than the 1990 miniseries. And I think that this movie is only going to cover the first half of the book, meaning them in the 60s, not them in the the 80s or 90s or whatever it is, as adults. So maybe there'll probably be a second part, depending on how well it does. Which makes me kind of wonder if they're actually going to be able to pull that off, considering the fickleness of people today. Although, you can figure this, we're already into the third Captain America movie. We've had 2 Avengers. Oh, here's going something. Intruders, you must be the ones that freed our prisoners. Yes, we did. We didn't spend all the time tying them up and keeping them alive just to talk for them to run away. Talk about rude. No one appreciates good captors these days. So Bigsby, I'm guessing this is another. We have to chase Bigsby through different quests. Nope. The Fleabag ran off with the others, probably to Vault 199. That'll be the first place we look when we're finished with you. The only thing you're going to be looking for is a good tailor for a suit for your coffin. So, have at it, boys. So, yeah, we've got, 3 Captain Americas, 2 Avengers. We've got 2 going on 3 Thor movies. We've had 3 Iron Man movies. We've had 2 other Spider-Man movies, but there's going to be a new Spider-Man movie. We've had Ant-Man. I mean, we're not hurting for movies from the universes of things. It's just, it's happening. We've got another Star Wars movie coming out this year that's not really connected to The Force Awakens. It was a separate story itself. Oh, what the hell is that? Look at there. Yeah. All right. And we keep going, of course, because everybody's still in pretty decent shape. Just keep on going, boys. So, yeah, there needs to be, and here's the funny thing, and this is where it's Stephen King universe time. We're gonna have a little discussion about Stephen King, I think. If you are a really big fan of the Marvel Cinematic Universe and how all those movies tie in together, how Iron Man and Captain America and Thor and then the Avengers and even Guardians of the Galaxy, how they all tie into each other and share the same universe, then I think we need to have the same kind of treatment to Stephen King books. Because if you are a fan of Stephen King, or even if you're not, you'd like to become a fan, his universes that he creates books in, and he's had so many books from the last 4 decades. You have to understand something. He's been writing since the late 60s, mid to late 60s. And he has... it's insane. He has so many great stories, and some people will call him a hack because it's like all of the same. It's like it's pulpy. It's cheap thrills and shock and scares and stuff like that. But he does write. I mean, Stand By Me. Go watch Stand By Me or The Shawshank Redemption. Those are his words. He wrote those stories that were adapted into really, really, really good movies. But the universe that he writes is they're all connected to each other. All the stories are connected to each other. Characters you meet in it are connected to characters from other books, especially ones that take place in that sort of that time, that era. He wrote in based a lot of his stories around the state of Maine, and Bangor and Derry and Castle Rock and all these places, these fictional and real locations in the state of Maine. And the universe that it shares, and I mean it as an it, the book, shares with other books, as well as the same characters in, say, The Stand. And that was another movie that was adapted in the early 90s as one of those miniseries, which is really, really good one with Gary Sinise and Rob Lowe and, what was his name? Mr. Hand, Ray Walston. The late great Ray Walston, Mr. Hand from Fast Times at Ridgemont High. But that movie was a 4-night, and I had a really kick-ass soundtrack from Snuffy Walden, who did the West Wing soundtrack. And if you like the theme from the West Wing, I go to YouTube and just look up the Stand soundtrack, and you get to hear these really, really great guitar, folksy, Western Americana type of guitar riffs. Really good stuff. So that's it. Randy Campbell, Matthew Bishop, and Jacob Bishop. You did a great job, boys. We took out. We didn't find Bigsby, but we've completed the objective. So there you go. We're gonna return to the vault, and we got an MK1 power armor. That's pretty good. Or XO1 Mark 1 power armor. Not bad. We can use that somewhere. So come on back. But yeah, I mean, the characters and everything is shared. The Dark Tower. Holy crap! The magnum opus of Stephen King. The Dark Tower is being made into a movie with Idris Elba. He was in the Losers. I guess it's called The Losers. Or it was a movie with Jeffrey Dean Morgan, who plays Negan on The Walking Dead, and also he was in Pacific Rim. The canceling the apocalypse. That guy. So he's going to be the Roland, and Matthew McConaughey is going to all right. He's going to be the Man in Black, or the Walking Man, or Randall Flagg. And Randall Flagg is a character who shows up in many different incarnations, and different beings. He's like the devil incarnate for the Stephen King universe. The Eyes of the Dragon, another book with Randall Flagg. He plays a wizard in medieval times. So it's like all these stories all share the same universe. It's really cool how they connect together. And there's actually a book on how all these threads tie in. Oh boy! Oh boy! We'll come back for that. We don't really care about them. Okie dokie. Let's go take on the final hunt. We gotta kill Big Wes. Let's go kill Big Wes. Shall we? How big is Big Wes's residence? It's... yeah. Big Wes, we're coming for you. So, ghouls. So we were talking about the Dark Tower series. Unfortunately, I can only say I've only read the first 3.5 books. Wizard and Glass, man. Let's take a huge break from the story to go back and talk about the past. It was like a flashback book. Really sort of made it hard for me to continue. But I know a lot of the story. And I actually got through some of the 5th book, which I think was whoa, there's a bug in here. Wolves of Kala, I think. Something like that, I forget. But it's a really interesting story, but it ties in all of the Stephen King universe together because of the world that the gunslinger lives in, where there's so many ties. The people come in and out of that world into the regular world, I guess you would say. And they share the same type of character. I mean, the first book was about the gun. The Man in Black fled across the desert, and the gunslinger followed. And there's not really a lot of information to know what's going on. It's just that there was a poem that Stephen King had read, and it sort of inspired him to write this book. And then it just became this backbone for his entire career as a writer, where this world with its like beams and these guardians and these different themes of the Western Americana became the sort of basis for his entire life's work. I mean, you can track it to the Dark Tower, Hearts in Atlantis to Dark Tower, Misery to Dark Tower. All these books that he wrote share characters and The Stand and what's the one, the big one, The Talisman. All these books all share threads between the Dark Tower, and even the Dark Tower itself, his magnum opus, ends in a sort of a cyclical fashion. And they're gonna make a movie out of it. And like I said, Matthew McConaughey, Randall Flagg, and Idris Elba is Roland, the gunslinger. I'm kind of interested to see what they do that. The reason why is because I'm interested to see how they do it, because not because I'm I was sort of concerned. At first I was really concerned. I'm like, you know, I don't know why they have to have Idris Elba be the character. And that sort of sounds bad the way I say it. I mean, 20 years ago when I first read the books, Clint Eastwood would have been the perfect role. You know, and 10 years ago, I could have seen I could have seen Harrison Ford do it. You know, now I could have seen Jeffrey Dean Morgan, Negan from The Walking Dead, and he was on Supernatural. He was the comedian in The Watchmen. You know, he could have done it, but I don't have a problem with Idris Elba playing it because I have a problem with Idris Elba. I have a problem because if you look at the overall story, there's a huge, big thread and theme of actual racism that involves Roland being white and one of the main characters, Detta Walker, being black or African American, and there's like this big, huge thing between them, and even Detta has to make, you know, she makes comments, derogatory comments to Roland about him being white, and you're gonna lose a lot of that with the character of of Roland being played by an African American. But I'm willing to suspend judgment and watch it and see how they handle it. Because I do love Idris Elba as an actor, and I do love the material, and I love all of them. So I mean, I'm willing to say, let's see how this is going to work. It's not the same. It's definitely not the same as in when you talk about, like, say, Shakespeare, where you had Laurence Olivier playing Othello, or Tello, or if you want to call him Othello, who was a black, he was a Moor, and he played it in blackface. You know, I mean, even Orson Welles, I think, even played. No, Charlton Heston. Who was it? I watched it. I'm like, I cannot believe that they had this character being played by somebody who basically has a spray tan, the equivalent of of George Hamilton, the crispy Colonel Sanders, playing the part of Othello. I was like, you gotta be kidding me. So I can't go that way. Crap. Come on, where you at there, Mr. Big Wes? We gotta take you out. So yeah, I mean, it was kind of like, that's kind of like a reverse idea. That's my only main concern, is that there is a definite thread of that storyline, and it's a part of that character of Detta Walker that I'm kind of worried about with them changing it. How are they going to change it? Because there's a huge amount of the third book, their second and third book, that's been on it. You guys are good. I can respect that. But I'm number one hunter in the Wasteland. Ain't number one, the Duke. Not you in the Wasteland. You look great stuffed and mounted in my trophy room. Hell, I beg to differ, because guess what? You're dead. You're dead, Big Wes. You're dead. He's the first guy to go down. Because we're that good. Butch, Keith, Larry, that good. And there it is. We completed the final hunt. That is over and done. We got a lunchbox, we got guns, we got caps, we got all kinds of fun stuff. And there you have it, folks. The final hunt is now done. And everybody's coming back. We'll go back to the vault, let everybody in, send it back out, and we'll get set up for the next episode. Boom! There you go. I think I'm going to just kill this quest, because I'm never going to find him another 16 times, let alone for 2. I've got 80 some. I mean, big deal. Crap. Alright, well, there you go. Let's let everybody back in. Come on, boys. Come back in. What do we got? Boop. I got one of those. I got one of those. I got one of those. I don't need any of these. I don't know. Yeah, we do only keep that, keep those. Brother Kevin, welcome back. We are going to take care of some business with you as soon as you get in. Alrighty, and you guys, welcome back. Get rid of your stuff. Alrighty then. Okay. Other Kevin. Taking care of this right now. Other Kevin. Ha 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 ha. How about that? You can go right back out. Oh, jeez. There ain't nobody there but Mr. Handy. He'll take care of it. He'll take care of it. Mr. Handy. We still have to name you Mr. Handy. You know what I'm talking about, people. You know what I'm talking about. Get on it. Alrighty. Okay, we got some people to... Suggestion of Richards. Ready to go right on the treadmills for a while. You go right ahead. Mr. Larry Day with your awesome goatee and sort of... I don't even want to call them pork chops. I don't know what to call them. You need to get out and get into the bar. And Mr. Douglas Berry, you are now finished. So let's take the dog away from you and figure out where you're going to go. Where are you going to go? We have to put you in a special room. I don't think we have the uniform for you. Got a accountant outfit. No, that's not going to help us. Guess what? You get to wear the pilgrim outfit. Yep, you're gonna wear the pilgrim outfit for now. Until we get you, get somebody to bring us back whatchamacallit. There you go. Oh no. Well, there you are. That room is now full. This room is now full. We're gonna have to start rotating some people out. Because we got some more dwellers to be trained through. Okay, let's send some boys out onto the lunchbox run. How about it? Let's send Kevin Ross. Let's send Sean Knight. And let's send Ryan Page out on the lunchbox run. How about that? Go for it, boys. Enjoy. Woohoo! Alrighty. What else we got going on here? We've got a Wasteland Tail we're still working on. Gonna send you guys back out on that. Randy Campbell! Jacob and Matthew, you shall join him. Boom, boom, go, go. Have fun. That'll be next time on the Angry Cast. And then we gotta figure out what we're gonna do here. Mr. Handy needs to be named. And oh, we still got to do the twins thing, twinsies. We'll do that next time. All right, there you go. Have a good evening, everybody, and good night. Whoops. Whoops. Uh-oh. Whoops. Yeah. Yeah.